Notice how the light is dim? Here you can see anything, or you'll probably see a shadow with a little bit of orangey kind of dull colour in the background. Then you see something else, right? I don't want to look at her. She's fucking ugly. Ugly, ugly. What's ugly? Oh, fucking bitch. You got to fucking say it's any use to you. Well, back to the nature of perception again. Okay, so you know the Kantian dialectics playlist. If you've watched it, okay, it sounds like a bit of waffle. It's a bit confusing for you, maybe. Okay, watch the time is a map not to rain first, and we'll see what happens. But for time being, I want you to consider these possibilities. Okay, have you noticed that about this, your ability to see something goes away, or it becomes limited? Now, it might surprise you to know that that gas is not immaterial, but the light that it generates is. See, photons are massless particles, which means they are not matter. So how does that work? They have no mass, therefore they're not matter. Is light a wave or a particle? It's neither. Do you think the light's moving? What do you think's happening there? Do you think the thumb moved, which made the lighter move? So the chemical reaction that causes that flame to light up does involve particles with mass, M-A-S-S, specifically gases. Light is a massless particle, therefore it's not matter. Consider that one for a bit. So anyway, for the most part, light is immaterial. Okay? They sort of envision it as a particle to try and get their heads around the fact that they're dealing with something that is not the same as the other stuff. In some situations, light is a byproduct of other things. So, just as the case with this lighter here, the light is a secondary consequence of the gas being set on fire. So too with the photovoltaic effect. In 1904, Albert Einstein published something called the photovoltaic effect, which basically says that when an electron jumps orbit at a 45-degree angle, a light beam comes out and radiates outward. Kind of like that glow around that light, or glow around that gas there. See how it sort of looks like it's radiating outwards? So it seems to bend out like that. It's called radial wave. R-A-D-I-A-L. In other words, it's a radio wave. It was probably easier for the scientists to find what the particular bandwidth that radiates like that we now call radio waves, than it was to, say, find ultraviolet or measure them in a lab, despite the fact that ultraviolet hits you every single day when you go outside in the sun. It's also classified as a non-visible spectrum of light. So what's interesting about light is that there's both visible and non-visible versions of it. What's also interesting about light is that without it, you won't be able to see it all. So in other words, particles, or alleged particles, they're envisioned as particles, you see, without mass. In other words, something that's somewhat immaterial is required to perceive the material. You require light entering your eyes to be able to perceive something. Here's a little another trick for you. Does the light move or does the cigarette? Guess what? It's the cigarette. The cigarette's moving, not the light. 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 All light apparently has the same speed. It's a universal constant. It's the fastest thing there is. And yet, in non-classical physics, as at the 2022 Nobel Prize, the fourth dimension, space over time. Watch that counter, the time counter on the video. Space and time are not, or space-time is not required for measurement. I can do it another way. How interesting. Space and time is not required. Space and time is not required. Space and time was not required. Oh, wait a minute. It's not a sphere or a circle. That implies it has a topology. It implies it has a space. If space and time is not required, then geometry is not required either. Geometry is a lie. Geometry is an illusion. Okay? So the answer is very simple. Time does not move. Time does not move. Space does not move. Light does not move. The objects that emit light, they move. So that raises an interesting question. Does a black hole emit light, or does a black hole absorb it? The answer is both. And what is the Milky Way galaxy? The accretion disk of a black hole. So, something immaterial is required to perceive the material, and something material is required to perceive the immaterial. In a similar way that a mobile phone tower and a satellite communicate using an invisible artificial radio wave to send a signal to your phone, just so you can watch this video. Your eyes require light, which is immaterial, and your eyes are material to perceive each other. And the answer to the subject of spirit is neither light nor matter. Have a nice day.